March is the third month of the year and named after Mars in both the Julian and Gregorian calendars. It is the second of 7 months to have a length of 31 days. March begins on the same day of the week as November and ends on the same day of the week as June every year. It begins on the same day of the week as February in common years only. Pisces is the 12th astrological sign in the zodiac. It is a negative, mutable sign. The Sun currently transits the constellation of Pisces from approximately March 12 to April 18. Pisces is the Latin word for fishes. It is one of the earliest zodiac signs on record. Pisces' personality has one of the purest of hearts, will hype you up and be your biggest supporter. Can be really needy and requires a lot of attention but also likes their space. Get extremely irritated by stupidity. Aries, Latin for rum, is the first astrological sign in the zodiac, spanning the first 30 degrees of celestial longitude and originates from the constellation of the same name. Under the tropical zodiac, the Sun transits this sign from approximately March 20th to April 21st each year. Aries is a fire sign and its astrological symbol is represented by the Ram constellation. These born under the sign of Ram are known to be energetic, adventurous, dynamic, and impulsive. Aquamarine resonates to the energy of the ocean, helping the holder to connect with nature spirits of the sea. Seamen carried aquamarine in ancient times to promote safe travel on the water and to protect against drowning. The soothing energy of the aquamarine makes it a perfect companion to calm fears and phobias. The largest aquamarine of gemstones quality ever mined was found in Maramboia, Brazil in 1910. Bloodstone is a cryptocrystalline mixture of quartz that occurs mostly as jasper opaque or sometimes translucent. The classic bloodstone is opaque green jasper with red inclusions of hematite. Strength, protection, vitality, 3 words to sum up the power of bloodstone. It is sometimes called the martyr stone, and medieval Christian would carve crucifixes and martyrs in bloodstone, which got its name from the belief the red spots represent Christ's blood. This gemstone can remind us of Jesus' sacrifice and inspire us to put others first and help them whatever we can. Daffodil is the botanic name for a genus of mainly hardy, mostly spring flowering bulbs in the Amaryllis family native to Europe, North Africa, and Asia. Naturally, the primary significance of daffodil is that it represents the coming of spring. However, the flower has many other meanings too. It symbolizes creativity and renewal, but it can also symbolize inspiration, memory, and forgiveness. March 1, 1961, President John F. Kennedy issues Executive Order 10924 establishing the Peace Corps as a new agency within the Department of State. The same day, he sent a message to Congress asking for permanent funding for the agency, which would send trained American men and women to foreign nations to assist in development efforts. The Peace Corps captured the imagination of the U.S. public, and during the week after the creation, thousands of letters poured into Washington from young Americans hoping to volunteer. On September 22, 1961, Kennedy signed congressional legislation creating a permanent Peace Corps that would promote world peace and friendship through 3 goals. 1. To help the peoples of interested countries in meeting their needs for trained men and women. Number 2, to help promote a better understanding of Americans on the part of the people served. And number 3, to help promote a better understanding of other peoples on the part of the Americans. March 15, 44 BC, Julius Caesar, the Roman dictator, was assassinated by a group of senators during a meeting of the Senate at the Theater of Pompey in Rome. The senators stabbed Caesar 23 times. The senators claimed to be acting over fears that Caesar's unprecedented concentration of power during his dictatorship was undermining the Roman Republic, and presented the deed as an act of tyrannicide. At least 60 senators were party to the conspiracy, led by Marcus Brutus, Gaius Cassius, and Decimus Brutus. Despite the death of Caesar, the conspirators were unable to restore the institution of the Republic. The ramification of the assassination led to the Liberator Civil War and ultimately to the Principate period of the Roman Empire. March 24, 1934, the Tydings-McDuffie Act, officially the Philippine Independence Act, is a United States federal law that established the process for the Philippines, then an American colony, to become an independent country after a 10-year transition period. Under the Act, the 1935 Constitution of the Philippines was written, and the Commonwealth of the Philippines was established, with the first directly elected President of the Philippines. The act was authored in the 73rd United States Congress by Senator Millard Tydings of Maryland and Representative John McDuffie of Alabama, and signed into law by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The Tydings-McDuffie Act specified a procedural framework for the drafting of a constitution for the government of the Commonwealth of the Philippines within 2 years of its enactment. The Act specified a number of mandatory constitutional provisions and required approval of the Constitution by the U.S. President and by Filipinos. The Act mandated U.S. recognition of independence of the Philippine Islands as a separate and self-governing nation after a 10-year transition period. National Pig Day is an event held annually on March 1st in the United States to celebrate the pig. The holiday is most often celebrated in the Midwest of the U.S. The holiday celebration in the USA was started in 1972 by Sisters Ellen Stanley, a teacher in Texas, and Mary Lynn Rave of North Carolina. According to Rave, the purpose of the National Pig Day is to accord the pig its rightful, though generally unrecognized, place as one of the most intelligent domesticated animals. The holiday is most often celebrated in the Midwest. National Pig Day includes events at zoos, schools, nursing homes, and sporting events around the United States. It is also recognized at pig parties, where pink pig punch and pork delicacies are served, and pink ribbon pigtails are tied around the trees in the pig's honor. According to Chase calendar of events, National Pig Day is on the same day as pseudo-holidays Share a Smile Day and Peanut Butter Lovers Day. It is an open question whether the holiday it is time to honor pigs by giving them a break or to appreciate their offerings, spare ribs, bacon, and ham. Every year on March 16th, we celebrate the fluffiest bamboo-munching bears that are a source of national pride for China. In the wilderness, giant pandas live only in the remote mountainous region of China. As of 2019, due to rapidly growing population numbers, the status of pandas was upgraded from endangered species to vulnerable species. Though the origin of this holiday is unknown, we can assume that the day was created to bring awareness to the beauties of pandas in order to keep them from going extinct. The panda became a symbol of the conservation movement around the world, a call to action to preserve endangered species and our natural wildlife environments for our wild animals. World Frog Day is an annual observance celebrated on March 20th. Frogs are amphibians, creatures found both on land and water. They are found to be the predators and are playing a vital role in maintaining the environment throughout its lifetime. But in the recent years, frogs has been threatened with extinction for numerous reasons. World Frog Day is an awareness day celebrated in a way to save these living creatures from any further plight and to provide them with a safer environment to survive. World Frog Day is held on March 20, celebrated since 2009.